Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World, and welcome to this week's must-have video. As you guys know, every single week I do a must-have video where I talk about what is a must-have in the game right now. And today's must-have video is the final must-have of version 14 of the FORTNITEMARES event. So what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about the event item shop. We're going to go through all of the event items here. I'm going to let you guys know which ones I think are the most important, because if you don't have that much gold and you can only get 1, 2, or 3 of these items, then I kind of wanted to go through them, kind of explain what what they are, what they do, and what the top priority I feel is right here. But first, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the views, all the support. I appreciate everyone using my creator code right here, DUJ2. If you use it to buy something, let's say you're going to buy some X-ray llamas here, spend some V-Bucks here, or if you're going to buy it, let's say buy something over in Battle Royale. If you buy something in the shop, using my creator code helps me out so very much. Thank you very much. It really does help out. I really appreciate it. So let's start with the event. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at everything starting from the bottom, because the bottom are the ones that I've already purchased. And I'm going to, well, you know what? Before we start here and go through all this thing, if you just want to know my top 3 things, let's say my top 3 things in order of what I recommend you should get, I always recommend, and I'm going to get it right now, I always recommend that you get the Armory slot tokens first and foremost. Now, you may be wondering why. Why do I need Armory slot tokens? It doesn't really matter. We can no longer get them in the weekly shop. We used to be able to buy them in the weekly shop. They used to refresh in other ways, but no more. Now the only way to get Armory slots are in the event shop. And if you're like me and you like saving a lot of stuff, or I know a lot of people who just, purchase stuff or play the game and don't really clean up their inventory that much, then it's a must-have. Definitely a must-have. And for 2,500 gold, that's it. 100 slots for 2,500 gold. Yeah, totally worth it. So that is always and will always be my very first recommendation. My second one that I would recommend is going to be the Corn Lmg. Why? Because it is amazing. We'll talk about that more later. And my third recommendation is going to actually be a tie this time. It should be the Copper Spectral Blade, but I'm actually tying it with the Gravedigger because the Gravedigger is just a lot of fun. I made a build. I'll show it to you guys in a second. But those would be my top 3. And I know, surprisingly, it's not heroes. Normally, I recommend heroes. Heroes for me normally are my top recommendation because they're just so much more difficult to get. But in this case, and something that I've realized and I've been talking about a lot, is that heroes are only good as the other heroes in your loadout. If you just buy one hero, you might be like, oh, this is great, but why can't I do everything that everyone else can? Well, that's because you need all the other heroes in the support slot. So those were my top 3. Now, let's get into this, guys, and explain a little bit more about why those were my top 3, as well as how I recommend everything else. So again, as I explained, Armory slots, completely 100% totally worth it because you need the slots. Let's talk about the Corn Lmg. Now, I already have 2, and yeah, I'm going to buy another one right now. You know what? Let's go ahead and buy it. It's important to buy them so I don't forget. The Corn Lmg is probably, for me, the best AR in the game. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, it doesn't do that much damage, it's really not that great. Yes, I understand. Let me show you guys my what's it called, Corn Lmg. So I have 2 of them. I have one in Bright Core and I have one in Sunbeam. My Sunbeam one has critical rating plus double crit, and my Bright Core one has triple crit damage. Now if you check the stats here, I'm rocking a 400 excuse me, I'm dying here. I'm rocking a 455% critical hit damage, and that is not even my final form. My final form is this Tactical Assault Sledgehammer, which is going to raise my critical damage to 225, and I'm using Totally Rocking Out. Why? Because I want that guaranteed crit hits. And now, if we go back to my Armory and to my schematics, you can see now that my Corn Lmg is sitting pretty at 680,000. 680%. Now that might not seem a lot, but trust me, these add up, especially with the build that I have. A lot of you guys have seen once I hit those crits, I'm hitting constant 100,000s with a 205 magazine size. So that's a lot of damage. 100,000 every single hit for 200 hits. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So that is honestly, and for me, the Corn Lmg it's not the hardest hitting weapon, but it's really fast. I love that it's bright core. I love the damage it does. I love the magazine size, and on top of that, it's got the added bonus of the eliminating enemies with this weapon can spawn healing candy pickups. It's just all around a really well balanced weapon. Yes, the build might not be very balanced, but trust me, it is most definitely awesome. The only thing I could really like to have here would be maybe a reload. Which, do I have it on the other one? Yeah, the other one has a reload. The reload difference is gigantic. Should you put reload on this one? Sure, if you want. I just like having this one. Oh, wow. I went way off there. I just like having this one with the magazine size, because with the loadout that I have, let me show you guys. With the loadout that I have, I do have the stacks that I'm trying to build up, and I'm going for more magazine size. That's what I want to do. I just want to have a very large magazine to be able to take out large groups of enemies. Whenever I run out, what I usually do is I'll either hit my going commando or I'll pop my shockwave to get enemies out of the way and then just, you know, reload while I'm backing up. But there you go. So honestly, the top weapon I would recommend this season is going to be the Corn Lmg. It's just all around really fun. It's amazing, and like I said, weapons are going to be very important in this event shop. The next two we're going to talk about is a copper Spectral Blade and a copper Gravedigger. Now, the Spectral Blade, I'm going to show you guys something that a lot of people I thought I was done. Okay, I thought I was done. Let me go ahead and sort these by subtype. Subtype? Are they all going to be all together? No, they're not. It's got to be by name. Level name. There we go. So now we have to find the Spectral Blade, which is probably going to be way down here somewhere. There we go. Okay. So I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Spectral Blades, and unfortunately, not a single one of these got the extra special new core perk, which is let's see, hitting an enemy with this weapon grants 60% damage, 4 or 5 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, or critical. Now, I really wanted this one. I really wanted this damage perk, and I'm probably going to have to change it to this damage perk. Now, I'm curious that we didn't get, it doesn't have a water, but regardless, the Spectral Blade is really awesome, and for those of you who got it with the damage perk, congratulations, you just won the game. The Spectral Blade is incredible. It is a sword medium, uses an above average attack speed to deal high sustained damage with moderate impact. Spectral Slash, warp to the target enemy, dealing heavy damage, may stagger smaller enemies. So you may see that if you jump or if you just move and right click, is it right? Yeah, right click, you're going to warp to the enemy and give them a slash. It's amazing. The Spectral Blade is incredible. The only one that is better in this same kind of category is going to be the Mythic one, but of course we can't purchase them. You can only get it from the Mythic Storm King. The blade looks beautiful. Look at that. Look, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've always felt that this should be Ragnarok's weapon, you know, because it kind of, they have the same theme going, and maybe it is. But it's absolutely amazing. I highly recommend you get the Spectral Blade, especially if you're doing damage builds with ninjas. I'm not going to show you that right now. If you want, you can check my channel. Just type in Paleo Luna and you can see, or my best loadouts for season version 14, and you're going to see it there. I love the weapon. It's really great. I am going to, as you guys saw, I'm going to be making it water, and I'm probably going to change the core reperk on this one because it is a very good weapon, and it's a good water weapon. So Spectral Blade, totally recommended. Next one is going to be the copper Gravedigger. Now, I was not honestly a huge fan of the Gravedigger. It's been an okay weapon. It's not one that I've been like, okay, you know, I really think it's a great weapon. It's just been there, and for me personally, I never even worked on it until this season. And what I did with it is I made it fire. I made it bright core. And let's go take a look at it here. And if we check the modify perks, I do have it with affliction right now, but you can do the headshot eliminations causing an explosion, which if you have really good aim, good for it, go for it. Or each shot fired grants a 1.8 damage for 1 second, stacks up to 15 times. Now, either one of these, the affliction or the damage one, I would say are really great. I made it into a fast weapon, which is why it's Brightcore. As you guys can see here, I really enjoy, if I'm not going to go for like a full critical build, I really enjoy making things about speed. Fire rate, damage inflicted, magazine size, and reload speed. That right there. If there are some weapons that you could do multiple fire rates, for example, let me show you guys one really quick, which I'm just gonna now we're not gonna talk about this weapon, but I just want to show you guys. Is it I know it's the Bobcat, but I don't have one right now that I can do it. But if you guys can see here, it has fire rate, 2 fire rates. I think it's only 2 fire rates. Yeah. If you have a weapon that has 2 or even 3 fire rates, they're amazing. They're so much fun. Highly recommend you put a reload on it though. So whenever I work on weapons like this, if I'm going to be working on a weapon that's got a moderate, it just has a pretty good magazine size. And if I'm going to be working on a weapon like this, I definitely try and go for fire rate above all. Brightcore, fire rate, fire. This weapon is just really, really fun. The only weapon that I would recommend over this is going to be an AR that's going to have both the fire rate, the fire damage, and instead of affliction or damage, the extra damage against nature enemies. That's what I would recommend. If you guys have been watching my videos lately, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's keep going. So that's the top 3 spots out of the way. Let's dive a little deeper in here. Now, what do I recommend? Now, out of all the heroes here, yes, there is one hero that kind of stands out above all. But before that, we have to talk about the mythics. Both Ragnarok and Raven. Now, right now, I hate to say it, but I don't have my list of... Yeah, I don't have my list right now. I used to have a list, but my computer crashed and I had to get rid of it. I had a list usually before that would tell me what each hero gave you, and every single mythic hero in the game is going to give you a team perk. Now, if you don't know what that is and you're newer to the game, team perks over here is when you go to your hero loadout and you hit right here, team perk. All of these right here, you may be wondering, oh, how do I get this team perk? How do I get that team perk? And I do have a video coming out soon. I'm going to be starting, hopefully this year, maybe at the beginning of next year, a beginner's guide explaining certain core things of the game. Team perks is one of them, where I'm going to go through all of it. But most team perks, you get them from getting mythic heroes. Mythic heroes unlock team perks, and in this case, we've got 2 mythic heroes. We've got 3 actually. We've got Raven, we've got Dire, and we've got Ragnarok. So I would have to bunch these as my next must-haves. All 3, the 3 mythic heroes, and honestly, out of all the heroes here, they're probably going to be heroes you're going to use the most in Commander. The only one that I really use here a lot is going to be Raven, and Raven I use because, well, again, huge shout out and thanks to Titan for turning me on to these. Raven has Bang and Pow, which increased lefty and ready damage by 25%, and lefty and ready causes explosions, which deal 20 base energy damage in a 0.5 tile radius. When you first showed me these, we didn't have Gumshoe yet. Is that his name? I always forget what his name is. Is his name Gumshoe? Let's see. Boop. Noir. Sorry, his name is Noir. We didn't have Noir back then, but when Noir came out, it actually made this loadout much, much worth it. This is how I use it. If you want to take a look at it there, I love it. It's a really fun loadout that does a ton of damage. It melts mini bosses. It really is. It really is a very fun loadout to use and try out and have fun with. I'm actually even thinking of potentially trying this loadout in I know in MSK. I know that's crazy, but with all the enemies that we have there, I kind of feel like I'll be able to reload my lefty and righty a lot faster, and it's going to do a lot of damage. It'll do a lot of damage, and this would be, I think, a really good support setup to take out the mini bosses and take out all the little enemies. But you know what? I'll try it one day and see how it works. But I really, really like it, and for me personally, it is definitely the one I use the most. Now, Ragnarok is really good too. I think Ragnarok, if you want if you want a Outlander that is going to do like a damage Outlander, yeah, I definitely think, because he doesn't have a Teddy, he's going to be up close and personal. Seismic Smash is not bad at all. It does a considerable amount of damage, and above all, he just looks awesome. He looks incredible. Direwolf is going to be that speed hero, Night Stalker and Night Stalker Plus. During evening and night, increases movement speed by 50% and decreases energy cost for abilities by 50% if you have them in commander. If you're going to be doing a ability heavy and you want to be moving around kind of hero, yes, I would use Dire, but you are sacrificing a lot of damage as opposed to using other ninjas. Of course, it's up to you how you want to play a game. I personally, whenever I use a ninja, I just go with my Paleoluna setup because it's just going to be the best for me. But Dire does have some pretty cool things, and like I said, with the speed, it is really awesome. And speaking of Paleoluna, we got to talk about Arlinisa, who's going to be my next pick. Arlinisa is going to be, and this is kind of funny because at this point is sort of where I'm ending the must-haves. All the rest of the enemies, we're going to talk about them, but she is pretty much the last must-have that I'm going to talk about. And the reason why she's such a must-have is because she has the Monster Smash. Now, I don't use her in Commander, but you could if you want, especially if you want to do the Phantasm enemies. I'm not very good at those, so I don't really use them. But Monster Smash has increased life leech from melee attack and going constructor by up to 15% based on the percentage of your missing health. She is what she puts the immortal in my Paleoluna setup. If I go to 50% health or under, she's the one who is going to, as long as I continue taking out enemies, she is definitely going to be the one who is going to save me. She's going to be the one who is going to bring me back to life and not let me die. She's absolutely amazing. I also use her in my Director Riggs loadout, if you guys want to see it real quick. Now I'm thinking of retiring this loadout because even though it's fun, it's different, it's fun. This actually loadout is really good in dungeons because it really takes out both the mini bosses and takes out the pylons, or whatever the spawn points, if you want to call them. I forgot the rocks. It takes those out. So I do like this loadout for this. It's pretty awesome. I need to take away hardware impact in here. Why did I put hardware impact in here? I don't know. I don't know why I have hardware impact in here. Anyway, is it because going constructor is considered hardware? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so definitely it's going to be a loadout that's going to be awesome. Also, something that I recently noticed, and I said on stream one time, I said that, oh, you know, the shield doesn't really do much for you, but I have been testing it out, and the shield does reduce. If you see here, it says equip a hammer which deals 208,322.3 physical damage per hit, and a shield that reduces 95% damage from the front, last 16 seconds. Of course, if we have Happy Holidays, and if we have, you know, if we do the kills, he's going to add up to 20 seconds, which is awesome. It's a really great setup. It's a really great setup, really fun setup. Like I said, I really enjoy using it in dungeons, but apart from that, he's really not a great setup to use. But as you guys can see, I have her in there too because she does help out. She does a lot of help there. Moving on, let's finish talking about this. Now, you guys may have noticed a lot of people will be saying, what about the Ghost Pistol? I know for a lot of, yes, the Ghost Pistol is really powerful. It really is. It's an extremely powerful weapon that goes through things. For me personally, I really don't like it because it's such a slow firing weapon. If you line up a lot of enemies, I know that you can just, you know, just mow through them. I know, and I've heard that it's very good for is war games still a thing? I've heard it's really good for war games, for certain war games. Personally, for me, I just don't like it. I will say this though, it is one of the coolest looking weapons though. It is by far one of the coolest looking weapons. So yeah. And finally, we're going to talk about the rest. Now, I do have to stop here for a second and say that I do recommend, if you have the gold, to purchase everything here. I do purchase everything except the epic schematics, the rare schematics, Gunblazer Southie, Copper Space Invader, or the Copper Dissector. Apart from that, I do recommend you buy everything else. Let me repeat that again. I don't recommend that you waste any of your gold on epic schematics, rare schematics, Gunblazer Southie, Copper Dissector, or the Copper Space Invader. The Gunblazer Southie, if you need him, yeah, go for it. But apart from that, you're going to be able to get those things in the game naturally, so there's no real reason to spend your gold on it. The Survivor, I do recommend that you buy it because you can never have enough good legendary survivors. But yeah, so that's something I do want to say. I don't recommend you waste your gold and the rest. Now, if you were to ask me everything else, you know what? I'm not even going to put it on a list. The black metal weapons, yes, the black metal weapons, I am going to purchase them because they do have the capacity to have that the core reaper change. So yes, I recommend to get them, but the black metal weapons in general are, the melee weapons are kind of slow. The Dirge Song is not bad, kind of, but I haven't really messed around with the black weapons, metal weapons a lot, so I'm not going to recommend something that I don't know a lot of. If you do, please do. And for me personally, I don't like the black metal weapons because they're the weapons that naturally come with, as you do damage, you lose health, and I don't play that way. I just don't like playing that way. So apart from that, let's go through everything that's left out. I did buy the Metal Marauder because I was looking for that perk, but I didn't get it. Plague Doctor Igor, Joan Seabot, and Bloodfinder AC. These three guys, I'll have to put them in there. Honestly, they're pretty much just for your collection book right now. But I will say this right now. I do always recommend to buy every single event hero. Also, I recommend, if you can and if you haven't, like in dungeons, you know, there's a couple heroes in there. Clip is a hero. The Door to Darkness also has Willow. I do recommend you always try and get every single hero in the game because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when another hero is going to come out, or they're going to change a perk, or something is going to happen that is going to make a hero that we don't really think is that good and we don't really care about to amazing. You never know what's going to happen. Like I said before with the lefty and righty subs, we had lefty and righty subs. They were kind of fun, but it wasn't until Noir came out that they became amazing. So I always recommend purchase everything you can, purchase all the heroes you can, because like I said, you never know what's going to happen. So to summarize again, number 1, I always recommend the Armory slots. Number 2, Candy Corn Lmg. Number 3 is tied between the Spectral Blade and the Gravedigger. Number 4 is going to be all 3 of the mythic heroes, just because they have the team perk. The only one out of there that I would recommend personally is going to be Raven out of it. Number 5 we're at is going to be Isa, because she's incredible. Number 6 is going to be all the black metal weapons, and I guess this Ghost Pistol as well. And at the end, it's going to be Plague Doctor, Joan Seabot, and Bloodfinder AC. And if you have gold also, I would get the Survivor. But that's a lot of gold that you need here. So if you don't have all that gold, you can go with the ones I recommend at top, as well as if you really need, let's say you need Isa to complete and to do the Immortal Pale Luna setup. I said I wasn't going to show it, but if you need you need to do the Immortal Pale Luna setup, then, or copy it, you know, the way that I do it, then you are going to need her in there in support. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much, guys. I hope this helps. Thank you very much, guys. I can't believe that version 14 is wrapping up. We're going to be moving into Frostnite, into version 15 in a week. Wow, that's crazy. As always, I am DUJ2. If you like this video, if you enjoy what I do on my channel, please, guys, do me a huge favor. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Thanks a lot for supporting. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.